Have you ever prayed so hard, and yet heaven felt silent? You poured out your heart, maybe with tears in the night, asking God for healing, for breakthrough, for that one miracle, and still, nothing seemed to change. It's one of the hardest realities in the Christian walk, unanswered prayers. But here's the truth, we may call them unanswered, but God always answers. Sometimes He says yes. Sometimes He says not yet. And sometimes He says, I have something better. Think about Paul in 2 Corinthians 12. He begged God 3 times to remove the thorn in his flesh. God didn't take it away. Instead, He said, my grace is sufficient for you. For my power is made perfect in weakness. Paul didn't get the miracle he wanted, but he received something greater, strength to endure, and a deeper revelation of God's grace. So what can we learn when prayers seem unanswered? First, silence is not absence. Just because you don't see God moving, doesn't mean He's not working. Behind the scenes, He may be aligning things you can't even imagine. Second, delays are not denials. Abraham waited 25 years for God's promise of Isaac. Joseph spent years in prison before stepping into his destiny. God's timing is rarely our timing, but it is always perfect. Third, unanswered prayers test and grow our faith. Faith is not about getting everything we ask for. Faith is trusting God even when we don't. True faith says, Lord, even if you don't answer the way I want, I will still trust you. Sometimes what feels like an unanswered prayer is actually an invitation to a deeper relationship. God is calling us to seek His face, not just His hand. To love Him for who He is, not just what He gives. Friend, if you're in a season of waiting, don't lose heart. Your tears are not wasted. Your prayers are not forgotten. The silence is not the end of the story. Jesus Himself prayed in Gethsemane, Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done. And through that prayer, salvation came to the world. Sometimes God's no paves the way for a greater yes. So keep praying. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Because even when prayers go unanswered, God is still faithful. And in His time, He will make all things beautiful. If this message spoke to you, don't just scroll away, hit like as your way of saying, I will still trust God. Share this with someone who's waiting on an answer from heaven. Subscribe for more encouragement on your faith journey. And comment below by finishing the sentence, even when God is silent. I will. Because your declaration might inspire someone else's breakthrough.